leverage effect. I do not have pushed myself for conservative assumptions. I do not want to elaborate on the leverage effect, but the market participants I have spoken to were not surprised. As representatives of the EIB have said publicly on several occasions, the multiplier effect is considered to be conservative based on the EIB experience. The risk department of the EIB has a long track record of lending activities in different sectors. The first part of the leverage effect, ×3, is very simple. Thanks to the 21 billion capital of the EFSI risk-bearing capacity, the EIB will issue normal EIB AAA bonds. No mystery here. From a financial point of view, this leverage effect is obtained by the combined effect of the EIB issuing additional bonds into markets in order to finance projects with a higher level of risk. The most important pillar for me of the investment initiative is the removal of barriers to investment and the creation of a true single market. On this, the Commission will come with further proposals on energy union, digital single market, and many other things in the first quarter of this year.
The calculation of investment gaps yields some problematic policy implications. It suggests that one simply has to fill the gaps in order to solve our problems. And such a strategy clearly treats the symptoms rather than the cause of the low investment. Regarding the EFSI, the volume of additional funds is rather small. It's largely a reshuffling of funds, and it's relatively difficult to ensure that there's really additionality. The main effect is the new financing structure. So this is more about risk. And the common feature of these financing structures is that the first loss tranche is taken over by the fund. So this de facto creates a huge CDO where the downside risk is taken by the public and the upside risk goes to investors, unless, of course, interest rates are adjusting accordingly, which I'm not sure about.
It's the only game in town. And from a political point of view, I worry that you hear in so many countries policymakers saying de facto to the unemployed and to the businesses, we have no more ideas. Private investment never leads GDP out of recession in Europe, period, never. And the reason is that companies need to demand for their products before they start to build the inventories and they buy new machines or what have you. Then you never do it just because interest rates are low or because we have liberalized some part of the regulatory regime so it's a little bit easier to invest. If that was the issue, and I don't say that we shouldn't focus on all the impediments to investments or the practical things, but if that was the key issue, then the European companies would invest like crazy in Asia and America, and they don't.
I have a very simple view on this. I mean, you have public goods, and when you have real public goods, you really want public investment at the end of the day. Now, you can talk about public-private partnerships and things like this, but at the end of the day, you're talking about public resources, future taxes, future tolls on roads, and so on. So that's for public investment. And then you have real private investment, where at the end of the day, it's the private sector that has to decide. And of course, the plan's idea is to increase a bit the incentive for the private sector by taking the junior tranche. But the question is that gonna do the trick? Is that gonna be enough? And how do you deal with this project selection problem?
The most of the money from EFSI will go to the research and the infrastructure projects and to SME financing. So the Horizon and CEF can be used as they have been traditionally used by giving grants. Then you can get out of the amount of investment is as big as the grant is. But now when we are using part of the Horizon and part of CEF as a guarantee of the fund, it can leverage the amount of money used for infrastructure and also to research. One additional tool was this blue idea, which is not ready yet, but is the platform of venture capitalists, just to encourage matchmaking to happen better than it does at the moment in Europe.
Thank you so much, Vice President. It was absolutely wonderful to have you here and discuss with you. Thank you very much. And let's give it